Okay, so in the previous lecture, I guess we had started with the comparison tests of infinite series, and we had, you know, gone through the direct comparison test, right? The direct comparison test, clear? And we had also checked the example of summation n equals to 1 to infinity 1 over n factorial. Okay, we had checked this because n factorial was, greater than 2 to the power n minus 1. N was, greater than equal to 3, I guess. Yeah, and then we converted this to this one, which is greater than 1 over n factorial, and we used this. We can also do it that it less than equals to 1. This can also be kind of checked. Okay, this is what we did basically, and we under gone through the convergence of this using the direct comparison test, right? Okay. In this lecture we are gonna go through the other comparison test which is also there, which is the limit comparison test. Okay, which is called the, once again, which is called the limit comparison test. Clear? So what does the limit comparison test basically says? Let us first go through the statement, and then we will be understanding how to, go through these sort of tests. So the statement says that, suppose, let us remove the point first. Suppose you have two series, an and bn. Okay, where where an and bn both are positive terms. Clear? For all n greater than equals to n naught, n naught belongs to some natural integer. Okay, what we have is first point says limit n tends to infinity an over bn is equals to cn. If this happens, then this implies that, you know or sorry, equals to c, which is greater than 0, then this implies that an and bn both diverge or both converge. Okay, so if we have two series an and bn, and the limit of an over bn when n tends to infinity c, which is a positive number, then either both the series will diverge or both will converge. Okay, this is the first one. Okay, let's check the next one. Next one says limit n tends to infinity an over bn equals to 0. This implies that bn converges, implies an converges. Okay, what do we mean by this statement? That if this is true, then if this is true, this is true. Okay, I mean, if this limit equals 0, limit an over bn when n tends to infinity is 0, then if bn converges, then if bn converges, an converges. Okay, got it? And the third statement says that limit n tends to infinity an over bn if equals infinity, then bn diverges, implies an diverges, Okay, so these are the tests which we have. Okay, the limit comparison test. Let us go through some examples. Okay, so first example, let's say, okay, we need to investigate the nature of this series. Say n equals to 2 to infinity 2n over n square minus n plus 1. Now when you are given these series which whose nth term is a rational function, okay, whose nth term is a rational function, that is an here is, whose nth term is n square minus n plus 1 given. Clear? This is a rational function. So what will happen is that we need to check only the highest powers of the numerator as well as the denominator when we are applying the limit n tends to infinity. Okay, that is what I mean to say is that if limit n tends to infinity an, this basically means that you need to check the highest power of the numerator, that is 2n, and the highest power of the denominator, that is n square. So as limit n tends to infinity, this rational function basically behaves as 2n over n square, which is 2 over n. Clear? So you can now consider an to be 2 over n, and now you can consider, let's say you have bn as 1 over n. Now we choose this particular rational function as the nth element of an infinite series because we know that this series n equals to 1 to infinity, or let's say even n equals to 2 to infinity, 1 over n, this diverges, right? Acha. Now if we basically find the limit, so limit n tends to infinity an over bn, which becomes 2 over n by 1 over n, that is 2, which is greater than 0. That means ki either both will diverge or both will converge, and since bn diverges, an will also diverge. So that implies summation 2n over n square minus n plus 1 from n equals to 2 to infinity diverges. Clear? I guess it's clear. Okay, let's check one more example. Let's say you have this particular series. Let's say summation, say n equals to 1 to infinity. Let's say you have 1 plus n ln n over n square plus 5. Yeah, this will do. Okay, 1 plus n ln n over n square plus 5. Got it? We need to check this. So let's see how it happens. Okay, or rather I should change the summation. Let it be from 2. Okay, this equation is given as such. We are given n equals to how to check the convergence or divergence of this particular series. Clear? So let us take the highest terms of the numerator as well as the denominator. So we have limit n tends to infinity an, which will behave as n ln n over n square, right, which is ln n over n, right, which is ln n over n. Clear? Clear? We can choose bn as 1 over n. As 1 over n. And now if we do limit n tends to infinity ln n over n by 1 by n, which is limit n tends to infinity ln n, which is basically infinity, right? So if it is kind of having the limit as infinity, and its bn element, which is the nth term of some particular series, that series is diverging, then n must also diverge, and we know that this series diverges, right? 1 over n diverges, be it any starting from any particular index, it diverges. So this implies that this series will also diverge, right? This series will also diverge. Got it? Let us check one more example. Let's say you have this series, say summation n equals to 2 to infinity, say 8n cube plus 100n square plus 1000 over 2n to the power 6 minus n plus 5. Yeah. So if we do limit n tends to infinity an, so it will behave like the highest powers, right? So 8n cube over 2n to the power 6, which is 4 over n cube. So if we choose bn as say 1 over n cube, let's say bn is 1 over n cube. Achha, this series is a converging series. Okay, this harmonic series, or rather this you can also consider this as a harmonic series basically. Okay, it is a diverging series. Clear? But this you cannot basically take as a harmonic series because there is no AP of the denominators. Okay, I'm sorry, I wrongly spelled it as a harmonic series. 1 over n cube is not a harmonic series. It is not having an AP in its denominator terms. Rather, this limit n tends to infinity 1 over n cube equals 0, and this is also a diverging series. Okay, n equals to 2 to infinity 1 over n cube is a, sorry, converging series, not diverging, converging series is a converging series. Clear? And if you do limit n tends to infinity a n over b n, then what does this give you? So we have 4 over n cube upon 1 over n cube, that is equals to 4, which is greater than 0. So either both converge or both diverge. Since basically since this summation converges, so the series n equals to 2 to infinity a n, which is the series which we are given as the question, also converges, right? So in this way you can use the limit comparison test to find the convergence and divergence of series. Clear? Got it? Okay. So comparison tests are done. Now we need to go through the ratio and root tests. Okay, starting with the ratio test. Let's say starting with the ratio test. Okay, first let us understand the, the statement of the ratio test, and we will also be undergoing through the proof of this ratio test because it often comes in the exam. So the ratio test says that if this is a series of non negative terms, and suppose limit n tends to infinity a n plus 1 over a n is equals to some number p, then point A, series converges if p is less than 1, series diverges if p is greater than 1 or p is infinite. Okay, and number C, test is inconclusive, that is in inconclusive if p is equals to 1. Inconclusive means in this case this test is basically failing. Okay, it is not obeying the case where n plus 1 over n limit n tends to infinity is 1. Clear? So in these two cases this test is always correct. If this happens, then this test cannot be used to investigate the convergence and divergence of the series. Is that clear? Let's check the proof. We will prove this one, and this is kind of a corollary of the proof of point A. Okay, so see, you are given p less than 1, right, and you have limit n tends to infinity a n plus 1 over a n equals to p. So this basically means that a n plus 1 over a n belongs to the neighborhood of p, and from here we can say that a n plus 1 over a n is less than p plus epsilon for epsilon greater than 0, and we already know that this happens for some number of terms, right, of the natural numbers, of course, because we are studying real sequences. So for some and n is greater than n naught, where n naught belongs to a set of natural numbers, let's say. Okay, this is the checking which we the kind of the statement which we use during studying convergence, right? So if this happens, then let us consider p plus epsilon to be some r. So let p plus epsilon equals to r. So we can say a n plus 1 is less than r a n. This implies a n plus 2 is less than r a n plus 1, which is further less than r square a n. And in this way we can keep on continuing doing this, and we can say that a n plus m, or let's do one thing. Since this happens for n greater than equals to n naught, so we take this n as n naught itself. Okay, so n naught plus m, which is basically less than r a n naught plus m minus 1, which is less than r to the power m a n naught. We are not writing the numbers in between, we can directly do this. Okay. So what does these inequalities conclude? So these inequalities conclude that the terms of our series after this n naught term approach zero more rapidly than the terms in the geometric series with r less than 1. That is, if we take a series where, let's say, you have Cn, okay, this, or let us say conventionally we take Bn. So B summation Bn, is given such that it is a1 plus a2 till a n naught minus 1 plus you have a n naught into 1 plus r square till infinity. So after crossing this, I mean from this n naught term of the series which is given to us, we have a geometric series with r as the ratio and r is less than 1. We are considering bn as obeying this particular condition, and we can easily check that bn is converging. Bn is converging. Also carefully notice that an is less than bn, less than equals to bn rather. Okay, an is less than equals to bn, and since this converge, it is obvious that an will also converge by the comparison test, you can say direct comparison test. Is it clear what I just told? This inequality says that the terms of this series after the, I mean from the n naught term, is reaching zero more rapidly than this geometric series will do. So we take this bn series such that its n naught term is same as what we had in the series of this an terms, right? And but what is happening here is that we are having a geometric series from that n naught term. Okay, and this converging means an will also converge because of this direct comparison condition. Is that clear? And if this basically tends to infinity, so what happens that you cannot find any finite value or any finite series such that this comparison test can occur. Okay, this comparison test won't occur if you have p greater than 1 or p is infinity. Okay, so I guess this part is clear. Why is the third point saying to be inconclusive is that, see, limit, suppose you have an, let's say you have two series, let's say you have summation 1 over n and summation 1 over n square, let's say. Okay, summation, acha, what will happen if you have limit n tends to infinity, the an plus 1 over an, so this will become 1 over n plus 1 by 1 over n, right, which is basically equals to or tending to 1 rather, right, or equals to 1 because we are already applied n tends to infinity, so this equals 1, but it is diverging. Okay, it is diverging. Okay, but if you take this series, then you have limit n tends to infinity 1 over n plus 1 whole square over 1 over n square. This will also tend to 1, this will also tend to 1, but this is converging. So for the same test you are getting two different conclusions, so that's why p equals to 1 is an inconclusive case. I guess it's clear. I guess it's clear. Okay, clear. We can check much more examples. Let's say we take one more. Okay, suppose you have this one limit, or let's say you have this series 2n 2 to the power n plus 5 over 3 to the power n. So limit n tends to infinity 2 to the power n plus 5 over 3 to the power n. If you have this, then what will happen basically? So sorry, you take the n plus 1th term, right? So n plus 1th term will give you 2 to the power n plus 1 plus 5 over 3 to the power n plus 1 upon 2 to the power n plus 5 over 3 to the power n, limit n tends to infinity. Clear? If you solve this limit, you will find that this equals 2 by 3, which is less than 1. Hence this is a converging sequence. You can check the divergence of this sequence also. I'm giving you one more sequence. This will diverge. 2n factorial over n factorial into n factorial, n equals to 1 to infinity. This is a diverging sequence. Its limit will most probably come out to be 4. Okay, its limit most probably will come out to be 4. Clear? Acha, one more thing, do not get confused between the limit of an plus 1 over an and the sum of the series. For example, here we had the limit as 2 by 3, but this is not basically the sum of the series. If you want to find the sum of the series, so n equals to, let's say, 0 to infinity 2 to the power n plus 5 by 3 to the power n, right? This is basically equals to n equals to 0 to infinity 2 by 3 whole to the power n plus summation n equals to 0 to infinity 5 over 3 to the power n. So these are both geometric series, right? So first one becomes 1 minus 2 by 3, and this one becomes 5 over 1 minus 1 by 3, which is basically 2 factorial over 2. Sorry, 20, sorry, 21 over 2. Sorry, very sorry, not 21 over 2. Okay. Is this clear? Is this clear? So this is what we call the ratio test. Okay. Talking about the root test, let's say, because this is the last test of non-negative terms. After that, we will have the alternating series. Alternating series is absolute and conditional convergence topics we will have. So we take the root test, also called the nth root test. So what does the nth root test say? Let us take the example. So we have, let an be a series, with an greater than equals to 0 and n greater than equals to n naught, and suppose limit n tends to infinity, the nth root of an is some p. Then the first one says that series converges if p is less than 1, series diverges if p is greater than 1 or p is infinite. Okay. And 3, test is inconclusive if p is equals to 1. So statements are kind of same as that of the ratio test, and I'm telling you why. If I just give you a hint of the proof of this particular root test, then you will automatically understand. See, if you say the nth root of an is equals to p, where p is less than 1, so we choose epsilon greater than 0 such that p plus epsilon is less than 1. Okay, p plus epsilon is less than 1. So from here what we can say, that an, and since this happens as n tends to infinity, we can say that this is basically less than p plus epsilon belonging to the neighborhood of p, and from here we can say that an is less than p plus epsilon whole to the power n. So if we take this as the nth term of a series, let's say we have this series p plus epsilon whole to the power n equals to anything, let's say, and since p plus epsilon less than 1, so we can obviously say that this geometric series will basically tend to 0 or is converging basically, and since this series converges and n is less than p plus epsilon or whole to the power n, so this will also converge. Is that clear? Is that clear? And that's why the reasoning is kind of the option, the statements are same as that of the ratio test. Is that clear? Is that clear? Let us check a few examples, then we will be clear about this. Let's say we have this series, summation an is equals to n square summation n square over 2 to the power n, okay, n equals to 1 to infinity. So what is the nth root of n square over 2 to the power n as limit n tends to infinity? This is equals to limit n tends to infinity n to the power 2 by n over 2, right? N to the power 2 by n over 2, and this tends to 1, this you already know. N to the power 1 by n limit n tends to infinity equals to 1, so this will also tend to 1, right? And so this is basically 1 by 2, which is less than 1, which is less than 1. So this series will converge, this series will converge if we, reciprocal, find the reciprocal of this particular series. That is, if we have this series n equals to 1 to infinity 2 to the power n over n square, then this would have been 2 by 1, which is greater than 1, and so this will diverge. So this was all about the ratio test and the root test. In the next lecture, we will be starting with the alternating series of absolute and conditional convergence, and we will be going through those concepts very clearly. So meet you guys in the next lecture.